In an absolutely unprecedented development, the High Court has issued a stunning ultimatum to President Cyril Ramaphosa. He has 7 days to take definitive action on what the court describes as the systematic exclusion and displacement of Afrikaner identity and rights in post-apartheid South Africa. The ruling, rooted in a recent controversial legal petition by minority rights organizations, challenges what they label a deliberate sidelining of Afrikaners from economic opportunity, cultural preservation, and national decision-making. The petitioners argued that Afrikaners are not just white South Africans, but a recognized cultural and linguistic community whose constitutional protections have been gradually eroded. Their legal counsel cited multiple cases of land seizures, exclusion from employment opportunities due to policies, and what they claimed was soft apartheid in reverse. The court surprisingly agreed, at least in part, and issued an order demanding the restoration of cultural, linguistic, and constitutional rights within 7 days or else face a constitutional showdown. Sources inside the presidency say Ramaphosa was blindsided by the ruling. The president, who has walked a tightrope between transformation and reconciliation, now finds himself forced to publicly address one of the most explosive and divisive topics in South African history. His administration, already under siege from scandals, opposition attacks, and internal ANC infighting, is now tasked with resolving an issue that cuts to the heart of national identity, land, and race relations. In a brief statement issued through the presidency's spokesperson, Ramaphosa said, "We are currently reviewing the court's directive and will respond within the required time frame. The government remains committed to all South Africans as enshrined in our constitution." But that vague response hasn't stopped the political storm from growing. Opposition leaders, civil society groups, and legal experts are demanding clarity, direction, and action. The Democratic Alliance, DA, was quick to respond, welcoming the ruling as a potential watershed moment in post-apartheid reconciliation. DA leader John Steenhuisen stated, "South Africa cannot build a future by erasing its past. Inclusivity means everyone, black, white, colored, Indian, must feel they belong and are protected under the law." On the other side of the spectrum, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, rejected the ruling outright. Julius Malema took to the podium, declaring that there will be no special treatment for those who oppressed our people for centuries. The EFF accused the court of being captured by right-wing lobbyists and vowed to resist any attempt to reverse land reform or preferential empowerment policies. The media has exploded with debate. Some commentators see the ruling as a bold move toward unity, while others fear it could ignite racial tensions. Talk radio, social media, and news outlets are buzzing with questions. What does it mean to bring back Afrikaners to South Africa? Were they ever really excluded, or is this just political theater disguised as legal action? Within the corridors of power at Latuli House, the ruling party is in panic mode. Senior ANC members are reportedly divided. Reformers within the party see this as an opportunity to showcase maturity and inclusivity. Hardliners, however, view the court's intervention as an attack on the liberation movement's legacy. ANC insiders say a closed-door crisis meeting was held just hours after the ruling. Some within the NEC, National Executive Committee, fear that complying with the court could alienate the party's base. Others worried that defying the order could lead to a constitutional crisis and even fuel support for fringe movements calling for independence or secession. Legal scholars are divided on whether the High Court even has the authority to issue such a sweeping directive to the sitting president. Some argue that it violates the principle of separation of powers. Others believe it's a natural evolution of constitutional democracy where no one, not even the president, is above the law. If Ramaphosa chooses to fight the ruling in the Constitutional Court, it could lead to a historic legal battle that defines the limits of presidential power. If he complies, however, it opens the door to a series of reforms that could dramatically reshape national policy on land, employment, and cultural rights. This is the kind of political moment that doesn't just make headlines, it changes the future. If you want to stay ahead of the story, know the truth before anyone else, and understand the deep forces shaping our country, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, and smash that like button. We are bringing you what others won't. Real stories, real consequences, and real South African voices. We'll be here every step of the way as the countdown continues. Stay informed, stay awake, and stay tuned.